Record on this computer. Okay, we are recording. Hi guys, welcome to tonight's team call. My name is Gabby. If you guys are watching this recording and you don't know who I am, because there are some new coaches on all the teams. Obviously, we add new coaches all the time, but we do have a lot to talk about tonight. We have a coach panel, which Emma and I talked about doing this, and I was like, this is such a good idea, especially since Emma was supposed to leave this week, but because she's having a blast and she also had surgery, like I was like, you know what, let's do a coach panel. Actually, it was her idea, and I thought it was such a good idea. So we're going to hear from two different coaches, a coach from Emma's team, a coach from my team. They both live different lives, different jobs. So it'll be really interesting to hear not only just my story and Emma's story, but like to hear other coaches who you might relate with, like if you're a mom or if you're a new wife and you don't have kids but you have a full-time job or whatever it is, right? It's really cool to kind of connect with other coaches on our team. So before we get into that, we do have a couple announcements. First is, if you are on the Rise Up Dynasty team, we have our new coach call tomorrow at 8 p.m. I opened it up to the Dreamer Society too. So, because Emma asked, and I said, why not? It's pretty much the same stuff. There might be little things that are a little bit different, but it starts. New coach call is tomorrow at 8 p.m. If you guys, I will post the link for the Zoom in all the pages so that you guys have it and you can let your coaches know. But it is for both teams. So yeah. And then we are starting our Boss Basics training for Rise Up Dynasty only tomorrow as well. So coach it, like girls, if you have new coaches and they want to get started, just put them in there. Starting tomorrow, I set reminders in my phone to get the girls put in there. So if you do have coaches, add them in there tomorrow because I'm still adding some stuff in there. So active coaches, if you have codes, use them. Another thing that's going to tie into another announcement is last week with the National Wake Up Call, Miguel Carrasco, his call was so amazing, and listen to it of how to use the codes, how to talk about the codes, how to send out invites with the codes, how to address people with the codes and say like, hey, like, for me last month, I was like, okay, I have these codes. What if they don't use them? Like I say like, oh, use them by the 31st, and they don't use it by the 31st. And I could have given that code to someone else, right? So his call was super helpful to follow up with those people and then kind of be like, hey, if you're not going to use the code, like, let me know, right? Without sounding like you don't care about them, because that was my whole thing. I was like, how do I say this without acting like I don't care about them, right? So definitely listen to that call from last week if you haven't yet. It's such a good call. And then every Wednesday is our Advancing to Emeralds call. So again, it's going to be different every week. Same stuff, but I'm going to add little different things to it. It's every Wednesday at 8 p.m. So tell your new coaches, tell whoever, like if you are chatting with a coach and I loved last week. I had so much fun. I won't even lie. I had so much fun last week. And I love to give you guys little nuggets so that every week it's different, because you will learn something different every single week. And another announcement is free group. We are going to do free groups. Amanda, on this call, she actually asked me if she could run the free group, and I said yes. Like, why the heck not? She's like, is it okay? And I was like, it's never like not okay. Like, yes, you can run a free group. Like, I would never tell you guys no, because you have to learn from your mistakes. You have to learn from what works and what doesn't work, right? So that's why I say if you want to run a free group, go for it, right? So if you want to help Amanda or you want to get in there, like I'm going to be in there. I have really helpful tools. I have a completely forgot I created this, but I'm like, why the heck don't I use it? I created it on Canva, but it's literally a pamphlet to how to get started with Clean Week. And I sent it to Amanda. She's going to change a little bit of stuff and make it her own. But if you guys want, I might just share it in the Boss Basics training, but or on the team page. It's probably easier on the team page. But it's So anyway, tying into that, Clean Week or a boot camp sneak peek is going to be starting from where are we? I'm like, where are my notes? It's the 26th through the 31st. So Amanda and I were talking about it, and this is for like if this is not to sound whatever, but this is strictly for Rise Up Dynasty. If you guys in the Dreamer Society or whatever want to do your own clean week the same week, go ahead. Get with a couple girls, run them. I'll send you my stuff. Emma will send you her stuff. But I really, since I have a lot of coaches that are wanting to be active and engaged, I kind of want to just keep it for my coaches to run so it's nice, clean, and effective, because I do think that too many cooks in the kitchen will create chaos. So yeah. But it's great. Why we chose the 26th to the 31st is because codes end on the 31st, right? So get them hooked in a free group and then be like, hey, look, do you love it? Do you hate it? What do you like? What do you don't like? I have a code for you. And then get them hooked up to start in your group for in September, but they sign up in August, right? And if they don't sign up by the end of August, you still have them for that following month that they might get added, right? So even if they don't sign up, it's okay. Like they're still around, okay? So don't get like all upset because no one signed up. Like, do you know how many people I've added in a clean week and like no one signed up after that? And I'm like, I did all this work, and it's like, yeah, you did all that work, but like they might sign up like in following months. So like, don't get upset. Okay, couple more announcements. $20 off for MM100 challenge packs until August 11th. Okay, so they get double dipped, $20 off plus the coupon code. MM100 apparel comes out on the 26th. Pray to God that that jacket comes out because I know some girls really wanted it, and we felt so bad at Summit because we were like running over there to go get jackets for some of the girls. But hopefully it comes out and they have new other swag too. So yeah. Success Club 5 or 10, you will earn your Jericho bobblehead. I got Joel's, but mine broke, but I really want Jericho's. I want to like put it somewhere in my messy ass cubicle that I live in. Yeah. So SE 5 or 10, you'll earn your Jericho bobblehead. And then you will earn your January through December reward too, which is the Success Club promo that's going on. Just read the FAQ. It's on Beachbody Champions, Beachbody Coach 411. It's all there. I think it's like the backpack, the tank top, Beachbody Monopoly. It's like the luggage, whatever, the jacket. Ashley just earned her tank top. She wore it at the concert last night. I thought that was so cool. So yeah, and then also $12 off Recover is going on this month, and 10% off of the 3-day refresh, which I'm totally thinking about running a 3-day refresh mini group like over the weekend or something, because I haven't done it yet and my mom wants to do it, so I was like, why not? And last is tomorrow is Rob Pearson on the National Wake Up Call, and he is going to talk about how he models and mentors self-sufficient coaches, which is my jam. I'm all about those self-sufficient coaches. I actually have a couple girls that signed up, and they were like, I went to my back office and they were at SE2, and I'm like, hey, you sold a challenge pack ? And they're like, yeah, I just Googled it. And I'm like, oh my God. Amen, sister, because that's the way to being an entrepreneur, is using the freaking Google search bar. So yeah, so I'm really excited about that. So another thing is National Wake Up Call should be a non-negotiable. So make sure that you are getting on those calls, listening to them on the podcast, in the car if you can't listen to it right away. But you guys, they're there for a reason. So make sure that you're listening to them, because it's a podcast, a National Wake Up Call for our business and specifically. So why not use it, right? So anyway, let's dive right in. So I'm really excited for this. So we have two amazing coaches on our team that have really leveled up, and I asked them to be a part of this panel and I thought very thoughtfully they were chosen. I was thinking about it. I was like, who can I ask from Emma's team? Who can I ask from my team? And it's like so hard because I want to ask all of you. But we will be doing these panels. I want to kind of do them once a month to see so you guys can kind of understand how everyone else is running their business too, and what works and what doesn't work. Because what works for you might not work for someone else, but maybe you like their idea and then you apply it to your business, and then maybe it doesn't work, right? It happens. And then if you guys want to ask questions, type in the chat box, but we're going to do a Q&A at the end. So if you think of any questions, just go ahead and type in the chat box and I'll answer. I'll say them out loud. as we go. So our coach panel is Cassie and Ashley. So I'm going to go off and read the questions. I'll start. Ashley does not like I'm going to call her out. Ashley, literally, she's like, I want to vomit and I want to say no to this, because we were at Summit and she was like, watching those people stand up on stage makes me want to like throw up, like thinking that I would actually have to do that one day. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, I know it scares you, but you have to do it. That's why I was so scared to ask her, but I'm like, I'm going to ask her anyway. I want to make her get out of her comfort zone. So we're going to start with Ashley. So Ashley.
When you texted me that, I was literally writing no.
I know, she literally, the bubble popped up and then it went away. And so I'm pretty sure she was like, no. Okay, Ashley, so let's chat a little bit about yourself, how long you've been a coach, and what your full-time job is outside of Beachbody.
Okay, so hi, I'm Ashley. I am 25 years old. I am married to my high school sweetheart, which I'm sure most of you have seen him on my story or my IG. I have been a Beachbody coach for a little over a year now, and I currently have 2 jobs. So my full-time job is Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 at like a marketing company. I sit in my little office and I like don't ever leave there. And then I also work for Marriott. I work in the spa once a month, but I only do that to keep my Marriott benefits. So if anybody needs a Marriott discount, let me know. Besides that, I am like part-time hobby coach. I do what I can when I can, and I've found a way to make it work for me and my lifestyle and how I've gotten to help other ladies get started. It just kind of works for me, and that's how I have been doing it for the past year.
Yes, I love it. I love her style. She's honestly, like, I sometimes like, I'm like, is she actually like doing the things that she needs to be doing? But then she hits Success Club 16 and I'm like, okay, don't need to worry about her, like she's fine. But I love it. Okay, so Cassie, a little bit about yourself, how long you've been a coach, and what your full-time job is.
Hi. So I started coaching back in January, so it's been about 7 months now. And I have worked as a police officer in the Navy. I was in the service for almost 10 years, and I transferred over to being a household manager, working in childcare. And working with kids can get kind of boring for that adult interaction. And so I was having a really hard time having that like girl group, I guess you could kind of say. And I kept seeing, because I've been a part of Beachbody now for about a year and a half, and I kept seeing that camaraderie and that community, and I was like, I miss it, I need it. And so after, gosh, I'd say 6 months of saying no, I finally said yes to being a coach. And I think that that's probably similar for a lot of people. So I dove right in, and it took, it's still a learning process. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I love what I do. I love being a part of the community. So yeah, kids, prior police officer. I'm also a student, so I just got my degree. I'm still taking one more class this summer, but yeah, busy mom. I'm mom of 2 also, so I full-time mom.
2 beautiful girls, by the way. They're so cute.
Thank you.
I love it. I got a chance to meet them, so I'm like, every time I see them, I'm like, oh my god, they're so cute.
And they're so big.
I know. I'm like, last time I saw them, I was like, oh my god, they're so big now. But I think that about Ashton and Bentley too, and I'm just like, you guys are getting so big. Okay, so Ashley, what does the day in the life of Ashley look like? This is like a loaded question, I feel like.
Okay, well, now that MM100 started, I no longer work out after work. I work out in the mornings, which kills me. I am not a morning person, but the main reason I show up is because Megan or Gabby or Vicky show up too. So I was texting Amanda the other day and I was like, I'm not going to show up today, and I deleted and got up anyways. So morning workouts I start. So I wake up, take my Energize, get my workout in, do all the posting things online. I obviously make breakfast, shower, get ready for work, and then from 9 till about 6 o'clock do I get home finally. So I get home, I do dinner and all that because that's my job. But like I find time in between work to do all my Beachbody stuff and my personal development, which I know we're going to get to. But lately, now that I have all this extra free time after work, I definitely want to start working my business more in the evening and not through work, because that's a hassle.
Yes. Yeah, she does a lot of her work while at work, which is I used
Yeah.
to do.
Bathroom breaks, close my door, call.
That was me. Yeah, when I worked at the restaurant, I'd be like, gotta go to the bathroom. Meanwhile, I'm in there for like 45 minutes, probably there thinking I'm taking like the biggest dump ever. But I'm really not. Just working my business. Okay, Cassie. So what does the day in the life of Cassie look like?
Oh, every day's different for me. I'm a mom, so I have mom tasks, that range from activities to school, and then I work part-time as a household manager. So then I have I work 12-hour shifts, and then I'm, household stuff, right? I've got to maintain my home, maintain my marriage, things like that. So my days vary, but like Ashley said, I get up early now. I try to get up before the kids are up so that I can have focused time to, make sure I'm showing up on social media with the MM100, making sure that I'm checking in with my challengers and the girls that I'm supporting and connecting with. So I take about an hour in the morning, and then it varies. But I work in pockets all day long. So I'm constantly juggling between maintaining my household and my kids' schedules and working my business and connecting with women, and then also working. And I work the hell out of my business when I'm at work. You better believe I get those kids engaged in an activity, and then I'm sitting on my phone or on my laptop or whatever is accessible to me, and I'm sending invites. I'm taking 10 minutes to, connect with new people. I kind of make really good use of the little time that I have in between all of the different roles that I play.
Yeah, I think it's really important to when I first started, I was really overwhelmed because I worked a lot. Like I worked at a restaurant and I worked like late hours, right? And I think it's important to kind of have a system, because maybe if we always talk about power hours, but having those power pockets are so important.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's something in power pockets out of power hours, because I could easily sit here with a power hour and get easily distracted. But if I get into a power pocket, I'm like, okay, I know that I have 15 minutes right now. I'm going to send like 15 invites, because it doesn't take that long to send an invite. If you already have the invite written, okay, and you have it saved like in your notes, like Ashley, like I didn't even know she did this, but she would we were on our way to Summit, and she has like the 21-day fix links like in her notes. So when she's talking with someone in her what am I trying to say, in her DMs, and she's like, okay, yeah, here's the link, whatever, signs up, right? So it's really accessible to her, and she has like kind of a system that works for her. So yeah, the power pockets are so important too. So I love that you said that you're like, yeah, power pockets. Okay, so Ashley, when do you get your personal development in? What do you listen to? What do you like? I know she listens to Rachel Hollis a lot, or you were listening to Rachel Hollis and Dave Hollis, their lives. So yeah.
So I either listen like in the car, like to and from work. I have about a 45-minute drive to Boca every day. So definitely during that time, when I'm eating lunch, I close my door, put my headphones in, listen. Also throughout my day, if it's not like a podcast that I like need to focus on, then like I'll listen throughout work. So I love listening to Rachel Hollis, Dave Hollis. I watch their lives, their podcasts. I also really like the Bellas podcast. They're like WWE like divas, but they're just so cute and fun. I love them. I don't know if you guys know anything about that, but their wine came out a couple years ago or whatever, and Colby finally got me a bottle, so I was like, yes. But besides that, I listen to a lot of audiobooks that I have from Audible, but I feel like I'm always listening to something.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, so Cassie, personal development, when do you get it in? And what do you kind of listen to?
Yeah, so I think it's funny to stress that when I first started this journey, I was like, no, I don't have time for personal development. It's not something that I can fit into my schedule. I was a full-time student. I'm a mom. I work. Like, I can't do this. And everyone was like, why aren't you listening to Audible? Why aren't you listening to podcasts? And I was like, okay. So I got into the routine of, like Ashley was saying, I listen to it to and from work every single day. I pop it in when I'm working out. Like, if I don't need music, if you see me with headphones on, it's usually something like the Empower Me podcast, the Rachel Hollis podcast. So good, right? And then, I'm a student, and so I get personal development, and I should be better about taking notes because I have so many business classes that I take, and psychology, sociology, things like that, that I pick up little nuggets as I'm reading, and I don't always take notes because I'm a student and I just want to get the hell through all of my work. But I take that with me into how I'm communicating with people, how I'm interacting with them, how I'm running my business, finances, things like that, where you can, I get personal development, not necessarily in the ways that you would say, like, the Rachel Hollis podcast. It's different ways that I have worked it into my life with being a student. And yeah, Audible is my jam. Like, I don't know how I lived without it because I thought I never had time for it. And now every time I'm in the car, that's what is in my ears, in my Bluetooth. So
Yeah, you guys, let me tell you something. The Empower Her podcast is
so good.
So good. She's a Beachbody coach. And her episodes are sometimes like 15-20 minutes, maybe less, and she literally drops like hardcore knowledge that is like will pump you up, give you like exactly what you need. It's like so weird. Every time I hit one, I'm like, whoa, like it's insane. But another one, I'm just going to put this out there, Empower Her and Angie Lee is amazing. Angie Lee, if you guys don't know who that is, go listen to her podcast. Go, like, follow her on Instagram. She's amazing. She's so real. And yeah, but that's awesome, you guys, because personal development is what's going to get you through this business when you don't feel like doing the business, and when I don't know, when you just like need ideas or like need like motivation or something. Like, I don't know, every time I listen to a podcast, I'm like, oh, and I feel the same way, Cassie. I'm like, I need to be taking notes. But half the time I'm in the car and I'm just like, should I voice it? But then because I want to start my own podcast, I like get on voice, like to text. I'm like, la, 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 la. So maybe you could do that. Like, I don't know. If you have like a voice memo app, maybe you do that. So that while you're driving, you can like voice yourself. I don't know. Just thought of that. Okay, so Ashley, wait, I'm like, what question am I on? When does your Beachbody work occur? When are you working out? And I guess since we kind of answered this, I guess how many hours do you kind of put into your business? Like, I guess while you're at work, or because I feel like it's like a lot of coaches are like, oh, well, how many hours do I have to put into this? And I'm like always working my business, so like kind of a hard like question, but approximately how many hours do you think that you're dedicating to Beachbody? Can you guys hear me? Oh my gosh, wait. Ah! Oh my gosh, I hope my internet come back to life. Come back to life, internet. Can you guys hear me? Hi guys.
Okay.
Oh, hey.
Literally, my mom just ordered new internet, and I'm like, thank God. No, but it's not connected yet. And I'm just like, this is why. I'm like,
Oh.
yeah. So I'm back. Sorry. I was like, breathe, Gabby. It's fine. It's going to come back on. Okay, so I don't know if you heard the question, Ashley, but I was like, Ashley, hello? And then I realized it was my internet. But I guess, like, how many hours a day do you put into your business?
So I was saying, for me, it varies. Right now, I'm building like 4 or 5 websites at work right now. So I've been super busy. I don't leave my desk till like 2:30 to get up since I sit down at 9 o'clock. So when I'm working my business at work, I could spend maybe an hour, 2 hours. Sometimes I get really lost in my phone, and then like somebody walks in and I'm like, oh crap, hi, like I'm doing my work on my computer. I'm actually doing real work, but it's not. So I do like follow-ups and invites and like writing on posts, liking posts, sharing everything that I'm tagged in on my stories. And then when I get home, I spend a lot of time just like sitting down. If Colby and I are sitting down eating dinner, I'm just like following up with people, checking in, but maybe about like 2-3 hours a day. But like it's all like scattered, so it doesn't feel like it's a long time either.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I'm like, it's so hard to answer that question because I'm like, I don't know. When you work in Power Pockets, it's like, I'm not really, yeah, I guess it's like 2 hours, 3 hours. But yeah, Cassie, what is it for you?
I'm gonna just mimic exactly what she said. I work in Pockets all day long, and it's funny because sometimes I'm like, I completed a lot in 15 minutes, and I look up and it's like 45 minutes, and I'm like, oh, like I've been really focused and just, I guess I could say distracted because I'm also trying to like work or do other things for longer than what I think. And so I also am up. I'm a night owl. And so because I'm a mom, I do all of my stuff at night. And I could stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning because that's my energy level just surges after my kids go to sleep. And I want to get all of my schoolwork done. I want to get all of my invites done. I am following, as many people as possible until I'm like, okay, I have to wake up in 4 hours. Like I have to go to bed. So it, the next day I might only do 2 hours. One day I might do 6. And I think it's just going to vary every single day for all of us, depending on what our schedules are and how our day looks that day. Maybe we have a really busy stacked Wednesday, and then Thursday it's quiet and you're going to invest more time in it, or, so I think that kind of probably goes for all of us, is that we all have a different timetable on what our schedule is going to look like. But you bet your ass at the end of the month, like I'm investing 6 hours on the 31st of the month to make sure that I'm getting as many invites out. So it just depends.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's really important. Like you guys, it's gonna look so different for everyone. Like it's not gonna look the same for everyone. So it just really comes down to like, honestly, are you gonna make the time? Like, are you gonna figure out when those Power Pockets are and set timers? Because like literally 15 minutes can go by so fast. An hour can go by so fast. So that's why it's important to kind of set a timer, do the things that you need to do, which actually kind of ties into my next question is what are some of the behaviors that Ashley and tasks that you're completing during those Beachbody working hours? Like, because you do have minimal time, like you're at work, you still have to do your work stuff, right? You don't want to be fired. So, what are those tasks? What do those tasks look like? What are you doing? Are you doing vital behaviors? So yeah.
Yes, all the vital behaviors, inviting, following up, doing all that, drinking everything that I need to be drinking and posting about it. But I just kind of do what works for me. So some days I'm just inviting at work, and then I follow up at home. My days are always different with Beachbody, and I try and just do what works for me. And I found that working at work, I find that I want to work Beachbody more because I'm just kind of like, well, I can email my client and then I can do this on the side. I know a lot of people don't have that luxury to be on their phones at work. I thankfully have an office. I can close my door when people have to knock to come in. Like that's just how it works for me. But I definitely try to interact with people, and that's been like my new thing, is like I need to start following and interacting with new people. Lately, that's been like my goal for this month, is to start following a certain number of people a day.
Yes, I love that, because I mean, for me, I know one of mine personally is I I hate like talking about me. It's not about me today. But it ties into it. Is like I have like a do not go to bed until list. And one of those is I keep it by my bed. And one of those is follow 50 new friends or make 50 new connections, right? I'm not interacting with these people, you guys. And a little like sneak, what I use is Bumble. I use Bumble BFF, and what I do is I go and I find people like me, and I see if they have their Instagram in their bio, and then I go and I follow them, and so I do that until I reach 50. And honestly, you guys, it's been something that just works for me. So you got to figure out what works for you. But having that list, like Cassie said, like she stays up, like same thing. Like I stay up really late, right? So again, like it's gonna be different. But definitely making new connections, because you want new eyes on your Instagram stories. And if they don't follow you, they don't follow you. Use the cleaner app for Instagram. I have a schedule, so like I follow new people every day, and I unfollow the people that don't follow me back on Sundays. So on Sunday nights, I unfollow, and usually like Monday through Friday, I kind of follow new people. So yeah. Okay, so I'm like, where are we? Okay, so Ashley, what type of tracking system do you use to keep track of your customers and coaches? So basically, like, how are you not getting mixed up, when they get signed up? How are you keeping track of them? Why do you love the system that you use? What have you used and that doesn't work for you?
So for me, I'm like a pen and paper person. I like write things down. I go in my back office a lot. I feel like when I'm at work, I probably just leave my back office up and I refresh so many times and I'm just like, okay, what's going on? Like, but I also, when I'm like messaging people on Instagram, I flag all my conversations, like, and then I just kind of go through them. Like I said, I don't have like an amazing system and process. I just kind of do what works for me and writing names down. Like I have tons of sticky notes at work with like Instagram, like handles, like, oh, this girl just followed me, gotta talk to her. Like I just have sticky notes of like names everywhere. But also just like flagging on the messages. That's just kind of what works for me. If I'm talking to somebody for a while and they then sign up, like sometimes I'll even like talk to them through text because that's easier for me too. Like I'm not always like seeing their messages on Instagram because sometimes my Wi-Fi at work is not the best.
Yeah, that flagging system, like I'm so happy they did that for us, because anytime that I'm making new conversations or like I've mentioned someone or I know like, okay, like I read it, but I don't have time right now to go to it, I'll flag it. So using that flagging on Instagram, you guys use that. It's so helpful. And like Ashley, like pen and paper works for her, but it doesn't work for me. Like I'll get so lost like in my business. I can't do that.
Yeah, I tried this streak. It just didn't work for me.
Yeah. And you never know, like, who knows, maybe you're not there in your business yet, but, there's a lot of coaches that still use pen and paper. So just do what works for you. I'm never like, you have to use Streak. But Cassie, what do you use?
Yeah, so I follow kind of the same system. Streak has been hard for me to get set up. And so I think that what I am really trying to move toward is getting people into my inbox on my email. And I like the feature of being able to see when they can, like sometimes for Instagram, you can't always see when they see your message. And so I'm like, have you seen it? Do I need to follow up with you? But when they're in my inbox on my email, I know that they saw it on, June 21st at 4 p.m. Like, you bet your ass I'm going to follow up with you within 48 hours or, a week or whatever it is that I think is appropriate. And so email, I really always try to get them to either fill out the link in my bio so that I'm getting their information, or just ask them right away, like, hey, this isn't a good place for me always to like relay a lot of the information that I have. Can we move it over to email? And sometimes it works well for them and they'll engage with me more. And other times I have to move back to Instagram and connect with them back on there because they're on there more and I see them posting and I'm like, hey, did you get my email? So it really varies on the person. But the system for tracking them is really just going back into my messaging on Instagram and seeing like, you know, the last maybe 20 conversations that I've had and kind of like, okay, where are we at? And I probably waste a little bit more time than what I should in going back and kind of like, you know, retraining my, or like making my brain kind of like, okay, where are we at? And maybe you guys have suggestions and you want to fill me in, but if you guys have a system for Facebook, I would love some feedback. I have, you know, that engagement on Facebook I'm trying to get that up. I'd love to be able to track people on there and who is engaging on my business page. And I haven't gotten there yet, but I think that Instagram and email have been, you know, my messages and flagging them and saving their posts is another one that I've really found that I can go back and look into my saved posts and people who I'm interested in connecting with and maybe I don't have a chance to right away is I'll save their posts. And I learned that from Emma, which I'm super grateful for because that's been a really great way for me to just follow up with them and then send them that invite later on.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I mean, I do like Streak is really hard. Don't get me wrong. I'm still like, cause I had to get a new email. It's like confusing and, whatever. I think that, you know, doing the basics of Streak is super helpful. Even if it's just putting their name in like whatever, like the notes of your last conversation in their Instagram handle. Because now they have it for your phone too. And I literally am like addicted to it. I literally spent 2 hours just like setting it up. So maybe just, for me, that's like, what do I call it? That's there's like a word for it. So it's not like the non-negotiables, like our vital behaviors. It's kind of like extra stuff. So I always try and dedicate maybe like an hour to like extra stuff when I have the time. So like I knew I was like, I gotta get off of here. I've exceeded my time of doing this because I could literally set up Streak for probably like 6 hours, right? So doing it little by little, and maybe, you know, use Excel. Like Excel might be another great thing to start with, and maybe just have an Excel spreadsheet of like, you know, new customers, new whatever. But again, finding what works for you. And there's so many helpful videos on Teamsy or Google Streak and just getting it set up. But I love that everyone just kind of does their own thing and figures out what works for them.
Can I say one thing really quickly?
Yeah.
I totally agree. And I just want you guys to know, like, I literally just got my Streak kind of figured out like a year ago. So again, like you really do have to figure out what works for you. My Streak's not going to look like someone else's. Your Streak's going to look different than everyone else's. But what I hear is they're taking action. It's just about taking action and actually like sending out the invites and doing that and then figuring out how to go from there and everything else will come.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Ashley, okay, what do you struggle? I'm gonna skip the other one, but what do you struggle with, and how do you overcome it while not letting it hold you back?
In the beginning, I did not want to talk about my stories, which I'm sure there's a lot of people on here. Anyways, Gabby was always like, "You have to do this." I'm like, "Okay," like. So, even like people will be like, "Oh, I can't talk on my stories like you." I'm like, it's not easy for me. Like I want to vomit every time I like put posts. Like, but I mean, I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, I really don't care. People are gonna like me or not like me. There's a lot of people out there. I'll find somebody else. See you next. But aside from like talking, I need to start making more connections, following people, just creating more friendships. But like I do what works for me. I mean, I can't stress it enough. Everyone's going to be different. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's techniques are different. And like someone who's a part-time / hobby coach and someone who's full-time, like they have different goals. And I mean, I do this because I enjoy it and I like to do it. But it's also not my main source of income. So if I'm not doing what I need to be doing, I have my job and like this is like that's my main source of income. Like I'm the breadwinner. I make the money, so I can never not have my job. But aside from talking and like following up with people, I do want to get better at inviting because like I get all that. I do it all, but like I want to start tightening up like my scripts and like how I talk to people. And what I did find that I was been doing more is like the voice talking, because I haven't really done that. So I want to do that as well, because I know that that's how Gabby talked to me when I signed up. She was like, hey, da da da, like, so like I really did like that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the voice works, you guys. People are like, oh my God. And it's so funny to kind of see people like, will be like, so I've never used this voice thing, but I kind of wanted to voice you back. And I'm like, whoa, sister, like, that's so cool. So I love that. And yeah, I mean, Ashley did not want to talk on her stories, and I made her. I was like, no, you're getting on your stories and you're going to talk. Just like I made her do this. So now don't always push your coaches. So you kind of just have to feel them out. But Cassie, what do you struggle with the most? How do you overcome it, and how do you not let it hold you back?
So I definitely struggle with objections and rejections from people who I'm connecting with and I'm investing my time with, right? Because they're interested. I'm putting a lot of effort into telling them, you know, about our products, and then being ghosted, right? And I think we've all been there. We've all had that struggle, and it can be hard. It can be kind of that self-reflection of, okay, was it something that I said? Is it something that, you know, maybe I did wrong? How can I improve this for the next time? And so that's really been my biggest struggle. And Emma and I have had countless conversations about this, and she's just like, girl, thank you, next, like, move on. And I hear it from you, Gabby, all the time in our team calls, and I've really taken that to heart. Like, I don't need you, you need me, you know. And I think that just really coming to terms with the fact that this is and I'd like to say that this is going to become a business, but right now it's something that I just really enjoy and I'm passionate about. And so I don't need them. I want to help them. And if they don't want me, then that's on them. And so that's been the hardest thing for me, is because I am kind of a people pleaser and I want to be there for them and be emotionally invested in them. But I also have to be okay with failure and rejection. And so I take that time and I invest it somewhere else. I don't have any more time for you. If you want me, you'll come to me. And I put it somewhere else. I put it into someone else who's going to be ready. So that's kind of my biggest, and I've hit this milestone in my in my coaching journey of really just moving forward and being okay with it.
Yeah.
And
I think the thing is really objection. I mean, it was hard for me too, but you guys, you just have to, like I said, I always say thank you, next, because you have to be so confident in your business that's like, I know for a fact that this works and that it can literally change your life. So if you are not ready, that is fine. I will still be here when you are. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to go this way. And if you want to come with me, you totally can. But if not, like, I'm still going to go this way. Right. So you can't get so invested in one person when, you know, like the dinner table. I don't know if you guys, when you were at Summit, but at the dinner table, it's like you have all these people at your dinner table while they're waiting for you to kind of talk to them and chat with them. But you're over here running around doing 500 other things when the people at your dinner table are sitting here waiting for you. So it kind of is the same thing. It's like, you know, when you are trying to get that one person, there's someone else that you could be inviting and reaching out to that will probably say yes right away. Right? So don't get so wrapped up in one person. And when they say no, I love it. I'm like, no problem, girl. Like, I'm going to be here next month. Let me know if you're ready for my next boot camp. I'll shoot you another invite next month. Right? And that's fine. Then they know, they're like, oh shit, like maybe she's like really serious, right? And I keep showing up on my Instagram and I keep showing them that this shit works. And so I know that I'm confident enough to be like, okay, I know I'll see you next month. So I know objection and fear, like that's huge in this business, but you really have to separate that. And a lot of that stems from personal development. So yeah. Okay, so let's go, Ashley. you're a wife, you're an aunt, you're a daughter, you love to party, you love to have a good time, but you've also been extremely active in hitting your goals. What advice would you give to any coach listening and thinking, I can't find the time, I can't do this, it's too hard? What would be like one advice, mic drop, that you would give to it, anyone?
Oh, mic drop. Okay. So I'm just always like myself, and I have to be myself because my best friends and my husband would call me out like that. So if I'm not who I am on my stories and I'm acting like somebody else, like I know I'm gonna get crap for it. So I'm always just trying to be who I am. Like either people are gonna like you or you're not. Like I've gotten past that point where I'm like, if you don't like me, like I'm okay with it. Like it doesn't hurt me anymore. The one thing that I wanted to say, Cassie, was I know they preached about it, that Go for No book, but I loved that book. That's the only actual like book I've read. I listened to everything on Audible, but I did read that book. And like if people don't want to join me, like I'll follow up with you in a month, I'll follow up with you in 2 months. Like I don't care if they're gonna say no, because I know one day they will come to me, because I've had girls who told me last year, like, don't talk to me anymore about it, and then, oh hey, I'm ready. Like I mean, we're always going to be here as long as we show up every day. People see us, they notice we're here. Like everyone who follows you, they may not be like watching you every day, but they're definitely seeing that you're there.
Yeah, for sure. That's why it kills me when coaches quit, because they're like, oh, I got too many no's and it doesn't work. And I'm like, okay, like, okay, I'm still here. So Cassie, same question for you, because, you're a mom and, you have two kids running around, and you also were in school, or are still in school, but I think you graduated, right? Yeah. So, what would you say to any other mamas who are out there struggling to find that time to maybe put in a couple hours? I mean, I'm not going to lie, you guys, I totally get it. I was babysitting, and I was, working from 9 to 6, and I was like, nap time, I'm going to get in this work. I'm going to get in like, whatever. And it was like a ticking time bomb waiting to go off until these kids woke up. So like, I get you moms. I'm like, wow, I'm like connecting with a whole nother level right now. So Cassie, what would you say to any other moms out there who are trying to work the business, maybe make a little extra income for their family?
So I would just, if you can hear her screaming at my door,
okay,
she wants in right now. I might have to bring her in a second.
Okay.
Do you guys hear that? She is so mad that she can't come in here. I would say just remember your why. Like, why do you want to do this? Why do you want to help women? And for me, I don't always focus, and I know that, right, so to move our community, the Dreamer Society forward, to move my business forward, like you have to hit Success Club, you have to be hitting certain things, but I don't always focus on that. Like I focus on valuable connections and just really wanting to invest on helping women and moms, and like, hey, this is the best kept secret for moms. Like, you think that you need to go to the gym, or you need a diet, or you need to do whatever. Like, no, you need to join this community. And I think just remembering why I got started has helped me move my business forward, and helping other moms want to also move their business forward, or, stay-at-home moms that maybe want to earn an extra income. Like, you can do this. It's totally possible. You can wake up in the morning. You can stay up an extra hour late. You can do it during nap time, like whatever it takes. You can totally do this. It's not that hard. It's just remembering your vitals and taking advice from people who have been there, and for people who are ahead of you, and being okay, because this isn't a competition with any of you guys. This is us learning from each other. And I think just taking those valuable tools and being like, hey, come join me, I will walk you through this, has been really helpful.
Yeah, exactly. Just connecting with other coaches that maybe aren't on your team. Like if you see another coach on Instagram and you're like, wow, she's kind of like my style, like I really kind of like her, reach out to her, ask her questions. Like don't be so scared to reach out to other coaches to see what works for them. And yeah, I love that. So we're gonna do 3 more questions, so kind of just stay on because I think that these are really important. So we'll do like a speed 3-round question. So Ashley, do you plan your posts? I love this one because I already know her answer. Do you plan your post? Do you just post as your day goes? And what about your call to actions? Do you do certain call to actions on certain days?
No to all of that. I literally just go with the flow. I do what works. So like in the morning, if I took a picture and I like it, I'm gonna post it. Like I will post a billion pictures a day. Like if I really wanted to, I would post probably 20 of those pictures that we took at Roundup and the taco night the other night. Like, but like when I post pictures that like are weeks back, like I just feel weird. I feel like it's not happening right now. It's like forever ago, and like why am I posting about it? But like I do love it. Like our photo shoot from Summit, like I want to post all of those too, but finding like where to sprinkle those in is like going to be my thing, because I am a type of person who I just kind of post as my day goes. I don't really plan out my call to actions. But that's what works for me. Like I know like some people have Monday you do this, Tuesday you do this, Wednesday this, and this. For me, I just, on my end, like I don't think that's not me. I feel like it's not genuine to me, and that's what I always want to be. Is I want to be like 100% what works for me and who I am.
Yeah, exactly. You should always be authentic to who you are. And I do tell her to maybe do like a little bit of more posts than just like one sentence, because you do have to.
I know I need to do.
She's doing very well though, you guys.
Storytell.
I would like to announce that she's doing very well.
It's on my goals.
Yeah, so take the criticism, like constructive criticism, you guys, when your coaches and mentors tell you like, hey girl, like I love what you're posting, but maybe just get a little bit more of like a storyteller, right? And Ashley has always known that I will come at her hardcore, but she knows it comes from deep love and only to help her more. So
mine's just like speaking and talking, like getting my words out is difficult. Like I know what I'm thinking, like it's great in there. Just got to put it out there.
Exactly. Cassie, do you plan your post, or do you just post as the day goes? And do you do call to actions?
So I haven't done a very good job of doing call to actions. I do them a lot in like my stories, like why not you, maybe like trying to put a poll or a question in. But I try to be as consistent as possible on the vitals of 10 Instagram stories a day and 1 feed post. And if I can do that, like I feel like I'm showing up for myself and I'm doing the things that I have made important to myself. And I've been running the MM100 group, and so I really got consistent, and I've done it in our Dreamer Society page as well, of scheduling posts. And it's something that I'm going to be better about, and I'm going to continue doing, because it saves me so much time. Like it's one of those things where I can just check that box off my list before I go to bed, and I know that at 6 a.m. and 5 p.m. I'm going to have something show up. And so I'm getting there. It's something that I'm changing and I'm modifying as I go, and it's a behavior that I'm going to continue I guess doing. But it changes. And so a month ago I wasn't, and I was just, if I have a picture that I think is valuable to share, like today I had to go back through, because I'm military and it's Seafair in Washington State, across the nation, but I had to go back through and find a military picture of me. And I'm like, well, this is relevant, right? Maybe I'll get people who are posting about something, and then I'll get people to share it. And so it's sometimes fly by the seat of my pants, and other times I'm going to add content that I know is going to be valuable at this time, at this day. And so, it changes.
it totally changes, you guys. Like there's never like a right way to do it. Like Ashley said, what works for you. You know, like I just started doing like the white boxes or like the quotes, and I just love that. I didn't do that in the beginning. You know, you know, it just, you figure out what works for you. You know, like if you want to post something, freaking post it. Like a lot of times I'm like, I feel like such a badass right now. I'm going to post this and I'm going to get in all caps right now. So just do you, right? Because even if 23 people saw it, that's still 23 people. Okay? Who cares about the numbers? They're probably going to take away the likes anyway. I don't know if you guys have heard that. So yeah. Okay, we'll do one more question. So do you guys have it all together all the time? And how, no, that's not the one I wanted to do. Sorry. If you were having an absolutely crazy day and you knew you can only get one thing done, what would that one non-negotiable be? Ashley.
Yeah,
okay. Sorry.
For me, it's definitely posting my workouts. I do have like friends or people who say, oh, like I do watch you or whatever. Like as long as I know that I posted my workout, I did that, like I'm happy. Like if I didn't invite or follow or do any of that, like that's my like next thing that I do. But like definitely getting my workout in and showing up for myself first is gonna be my main thing. Like
I'm so happy you said that.
Yeah, like I just have to show up for me and like then show up for others. Like, and posting at least my workouts makes me happy, holds me accountable, because I know when I don't show my workouts, like I do have somebody be like, oh, did you not work out today? Mainly Colby.
No, that's so true, you guys, because it's like, you know, we are gonna have busy days. Some days where you're just like, I can't, like I literally like your brain is just mush. Like I've been there where it's just like I need a mental like separation right now, which is totally fine. Like those people are gonna be there tomorrow, so your one thing that you have to get done, like, is really, it has to be really important to you, which is probably your workout and posting your workout. So Cassie, what would it be for you?
You stole the words right out of my mouth. And so I feel like it would be, you know, I don't think I should share the same thing. So I'd say my next thing would be following and connecting with new people and just building that base of my cold market, right? Because I'm at the point now where I've exhausted all of my warm market and I've connected with everyone that I can and that I know personally on a personal level. And now I'm at the point where like, follow. Like I'm getting as much engagement as I possibly can. And so I think that that's probably one of those things that's going to move my business forward and connect with more people, is just going on Instagram and I don't just follow. Like I look at your profile, I make sure that you're in the US, I make sure that you're not, you know, someone that maybe I don't have the same core values with. And so I'm intentional in who I'm following, but that is my number one thing. If it's, I don't go to bed until I've at least hit 20. I shoot for more, but you know, if it's the very last thing that I do, I'm going to go and connect with more people who are in my market and who I want to have a valuable friendship with, because that's what this is all about. Like I want to have a relationship with you, and if I want you on my team, I want to know that you're going to be someone that I actually want to talk to, because it's going to be a pretty rough networking relationship if I don't like you. So, you know, I'm going to have a hard time helping you move your business forward if I don't believe in what you are putting out there. So I'm really intentional with who I connect with.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because it's so true, you guys. Like, you know, all of it comes with time. Holy cow, everything comes with time and consistency. So, you know, I love everything that you guys said. And, you know, just talking about being so authentic in everything that you guys do is really important. And I think that, you know, for me, what actually, like, I won't lie, you guys, like Beachbody saved my life, because I had so much anxiety, and I was listening to this podcast and it was like, you know, anxiety comes from not being authentic. 100%. And it's like if you feel like you have a lot of anxiety in Beachbody and you have a lot of anxiety in posting, or you have a lot of anxiety of doing those things, it's because you're not being authentic. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to be like, oh, well, she has this many followers and she does this and who cares? Stay in your own lane. Find out what works for you. If it doesn't work, scratch it off, write a new plan, apply, and then see if it works, right? Like there's been so many times where, I tried Teamzy and I loved it, but then I didn't really connect with it. So then I went back to Google Streak. It really comes down to like you, right? And not giving up and being okay with failure and learning from your mistakes. And I just love all of your responses, you guys. Like, you guys nailed it. I just love how authentic you guys are. And it's because it shows, like Ashley said, she's like, my friends and family will be like, you are not being yourself. Like, no. And it will show to other people, not just your friends and family. Other people will read off on that. I've seen a lot of coaches, and I'm just like, something doesn't feel right about this. And it's so true. Like, I swear to God, I have like what's the word I'm looking for? Authenticity radar. It's like, you're not being yourself. Like, I don't want to be friends with you. Yeah, I love it. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah, are we good? Any questions? Thank you guys so much for this. I know it was kind of nerve-wracking, especially for Ashley. But you finally did it, and you guys, this is what happens. Like, you get pushed into outside your comfort zones. And I'm really proud of you guys because you're only going to learn from the things that you do, right? So inviting and getting on your Instagram and talking, like, you're only going to get better at it if you continue to do it. You can't do it for a day and be like, oh, like, I'm not good at it. Like, yeah, no shit. Like, I wasn't my crazy self in the beginning. It took time in, like, getting on Instagram every single day. So I'm really proud of you guys. And let's take
so real quick, so Amanda asked, how do I follow up with ghosting people?
Yeah.
They still watch my stories, so I call them out. And I think that it's like, hey, you're still watching me. Why haven't you done this with me? And I just
liking my post. Like, I don't understand.
Like, if you're gonna ghost me, like, cut me out of your life, whatever you want to do, but don't continue watching my stories and like marking, or like answering my polls and stuff. And so I always, right when they do it, or right when I see them watching my stories, I call them out. Like, hey, I still see you here. Are you ready yet? And if the answer is no, it's great. I'll come back to you in a week or in a month or whatever it is. But
I literally send them a GIF. It's like the one from Finding Nemo where the girl is like with the braces and she's tapping the water tank, and it's like where she's like literally like, hey, that's the GIF I send them every single time when someone ghosts me. I'm just like, hey, I'm like, I see you. I'm like, I have a new boot camp starting. Like, are you ready? If not, totally okay. Can I reach out next month? But I would totally love to get you connected. Like, call them out. Like, they're still watching your stuff. Like, you're running a business. So I love that you asked that question, because that's such a good question. It really comes down to, Chelsea, like, being like, I see you and I'm going to call you out, and not being like, what are they going to say? Like, oh my God, you're so weird for like calling me out. Cool. Bye. Unfollow. Like, don't care. Like, keep doing you. So yeah. Yeah.
Because I had asked Gabby that too, and like I feel like I want to call people out, but in a non-confrontational way. So I was interacting with her stuff that she was posting as well, so like liking her pictures or writing back on her stories, and I sent a couple voice memos too, just like, hey, just gonna follow up, blah blah blah. And she still ghosted me for a few days, and then she finally got back. So I think us interacting with them, not just saying, hey, like, where are you? Or like, just want to follow up with you, but interacting with their stories and their posts. Just let them know
people are also not on Instagram as much as we are, guys. Like, there's people who, like, you can see when it says seen, like the message, I'm like, this bitch is not even, this girl is not even seen my post or like even look, because people don't go into their social media as much as we do. We're freaks.
So true. We're like freaks. I'm like, I'm like, scroll, like, why haven't you read it yet? But no, and it's so true, because like for me, I am a confrontational person. I will call you out. But I know Chelsea is not that person. She's like straight line person. But I love that because it works for her. She interacts with them, which is actually like, thank you for that, because that's such a good idea. It's like, duh, like, reach out to them, like their posts, watch their stories, comment on their pictures, say happy birthday, whatever it is, because then they'll know, like, oh wow, this girl's super cool, she really cares about me. And yeah, I love that, Chelsea. That's great, because not everyone wants to be like me. Yo, what's up, girl? Like, get in my boot camp. I love that. Does anyone else have any other questions or anything? If not, I really want to take a picture. I'm so excited. I'm going to stop the recording.
Can I wait, one more question. For both of you, how has Beachbody changed your life in like 30 seconds? Ready, set, go.
Okay, so Ashley.
Am I on the national wake-up call right now?
I know, right? I love it.
Oh, and I also want to say we all got to be on the national wake-up call, because I think someone's name may be getting like announced tomorrow. I don't know. Like, she may be on this call. I'm not really sure. So just make sure you're on.
You guys, I totally forgot until just now. I'm sweating right now. Oh my God. You guys, oh my God. I have to remind my mom. That's so funny. Okay. All right.
Okay, there you go. Say.
I'll answer first because I'm already unmuted. So you gotta quit singing for a second, honey. It's given me a purpose again. And like I said in the beginning, I was in the military, and the military gives you an identity. And for me as a mom, I needed an outlet again. I needed an identity. I needed something besides being a mom, being a child care provider. And it gave me an identity. It gave me an outlet, and it makes me want to cry because you guys are my sisters. And like, if I didn't have a paycheck, if I didn't have any of this, I would still come to this every single week. I would still show up every single day because I freaking love you guys. Like, you show up and I can lean to you guys for support. Like, I called Emma, the very first person. I didn't go to my sister. I didn't go to my mom. I didn't go to my best friend. I went to Emma yesterday when I had something happen. And I'm so grateful for that.
All right. So for me, I've never been a girl's girl. I have 3 best friends, and that was about it. And so this community has really made me a better person. I can say, like, to my core, I was a nasty beast. I was not a nice person before, I feel like, and I have grown a lot as a person myself. And I definitely think that it's made me better in my relationship with my husband, because he'll like say like, oh, you're acting like your old self. Like, he will call me out. He'll be like, don't act nasty. So it's definitely helped me in my life. I was in a really bad place. I was very unhappy with who I was. And I did it in my beginning because of my wedding, to get in shape and look good in my dress. But I told Gabby, like, when I finished like 80 day, I was like, I want to continue doing this. I want to help people. I want to give people the same feeling that I felt. Literally my first round of 80 day, I started bawling. Autumn's crying, I'm crying. I'm like, this is like why I do it, because it makes me feel amazing, and I just want that for everyone else.
I love that. I mean, yeah. I mean, you guys both have done such like amazing growth, but Beachbody really like does give us this opportunity to really like change other people's lives in a way that it's changed our lives, right? So you always have to think of that, like, don't get so caught up in the numbers and so caught up in like, oh my God, like, I just need that. I need her to sign up with me. I need to hit those success call points. Yeah, that's great, but like, don't forget why you're a coach. You're a coach because it changed your life and you want to pay that forward, right? So always, always remember that when you are struggling and you're not being yourself, sit down with yourself, take a break, take a walk around the block, whatever, drink some coffee, and then remember, like, okay, Gabby, like, why am I doing this? Because it changed my life and I just want to pay it forward, right? So you guys, like, it's great that I hit diamond and it's great. You guys are amazing. But like, I feel like I'm going to be way more excited when my coaches hit that and probably cry. Like, it makes me like teary eyed just to think about it because I just want it for them more than I want it for myself. And so that's why I'm doing this. Not yes for myself, but also because I love it. I truly love it. So really, if you're struggling to be authentic, just come back to your why and come back to why you joined and what made you join. So I love that. So yay, thank you guys so much. I'm gonna stop the recording and then let's take a picture really quick. So yeah, let me